Well, today is Wednesday, excuse me, November 23rd, day 326. It is the day before Thanksgiving. And again, reminded that we have so much to be thankful for. How truly, truly blessed we are. I was reminded recently in a worship service as we were introduced to people in another part of our world that are persecuted each day for their faith. And yet they say stay strong, and we see that same example in our readings in the Old Testament, in the Old Testament and the New Testament. How God's people had been persecuted, but specifically for the Christians who were persecuted for their faith, persecuted by the Jews for their faith, and yet they stayed strong. They stayed strong. But we read in today's reading, it's interesting again how the chronological has worked, because we've been in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, back into Acts, and into Romans, the first of Romans today. And just how all of this ties together in how these chain of events happen as these books were written. But we're reminded in our reading today how we as sinners, where it talks about the people that have traded the truth about God for a lie. They worshipped and served things that they called gods, but they were not. They were just man-made images. They're worshiping idols. We have that still today across our world. It's amazing, out of all of God's teachings here, that we still have people who make graven images and worship them. And they are nothing more than the thing that just sits there. They are nothing. There's no life. There is not a God. They're praying to a stone, and there's nothing. There will never be a response. There will never be an answer to a prayer. Nothing. They don't worship the one true God. And in Romans 1:25 it said they traded the truth about God for a lie, so they worshipped and served the things God created instead of the Creator himself, who is worthy of eternal praise. Amen. We have people who worship the stars and the earth, and they don't worship the Creator that created them. And so it talks about in 1 Corinthians 16 where it says, or Romans 1:24, it says, so God abandoned them to do whatever shameful things their heart desired. God abandoned them. God deserted them. Because they were worshiping and doing disgusting, disgusting things. Yes, we still do this today. Across this planet, it is still done today. And my question is, are we going to be faithful? Are we going to be faithful to God? Paul warns us, or tells us in 1 Corinthians 16 to be on our guard, stand firm in the faith. Be courageous, be strong, and do everything with love. be on our guard, be faithful, be courageous as these people that I was introduced to this week that are faithful to God when everybody else around them is telling them, no, you are wrong. They're faithful in their faith. In the end, in Romans 1:20, it says, in the end, everyone will be held accountable. For it says, ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power, and his divine nature. So they have no excuses. They have no excuses. We have no excuses for knowing God. We must not worship the created things. We must worship the Creator. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And I hope to see you again tomorrow as we continue our journey through the Word.